Even the bands have a chance, a small chance albeit, to be deployed. And so when I told my mom that I was going to join the Army in 2006, when OIF and OEF were both in full swing, you could believe there was a bit of worry. No matter how much I said, I'm just playing saxophone. I'm just going to be in Springfield, Illinois, 1 weekend a month. It won't be that bad. You can't not help but worry. Of course, after we talked about it, she stood by me. She supported me. My whole family, in fact, did. And what do you know? She wouldn't have it any other way. Now, you'd think this is just a story because it's Mother's Day. But no, my mom's here. Mom, come up on stage. As I mentioned, today is Mother's Day, and so like many times before, you and every mother here in the audience have given something up for your child. Today, you've given up Mother's Day. So on this very special day, I would like to recite a poem for all the mothers out there on behalf of your future soldiers. It's entitled, "You Were There," by Anonymous. You were there when we took our first steps and went unsteadily across the floor. You pushed and prodded, encouraged and guided, until our steps took us out the door. You worry now, are they okay? Is there more that you could have done? As we walk the paths of our unknown, you wonder, where have my children gone? Where we are is where you have led us. With your special love, you showed us a way to believe in ourselves and the decisions that we make, taking on the challenges day to day. And where you go, you can be sure in spirit, you shall never be alone. For where you are is what matters most to us, because to us, that will always be home. And at this time, each future soldier has been given a rose. I would like to ask you now to pass that to your mother and recognize that your own special someone in your life. And yes, hugs are appropriate at this moment. It's a carnation. It's written rose right here. Oh.
There you go.
But unlike the rest of the mothers, she has to give a speech. Ladies and gentlemen, my mom, Cheryl Marie Wenzel.
Thanks, Jim. Hi. So, yes, I'm a mom, like many of you, whose son felt the call to serve his country in the Army. I feel privileged on this Mother's Day to have this very special opportunity to not only offer a parent's perspective on the significance of a son's or daughter's decision to enlist in military service, but to also congratulate these young men and women on their choice to take on challenges that no college campus will ever provide. When my son first shared with me that he had decided to enlist and would be spending a long, hot summer in basic combat training at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, I had mixed emotions, apprehension, some excitement, a sense of pride. And then there was that stark realization that my baby boy was no longer a child. His decision was his own. He signed his name on the dotted line. There was no permission slip requiring a parent's signature, but also no greater indicator that my job as a 24/7 mom had run its course. In many ways, these decisions our now adult children have made can allow us as parents to acknowledge our own mission accomplished with regard to the desire to raise our children to become responsible adults and good citizens. So, all of you new recruits out there, this seems like as good a time as any to stand and thank your parents for bringing you this far with a hearty round of applause and an extra yay mom, since it's Mother's Day. Good and long. Nice going, guys. Certainly our children are facing great challenges and big adjustments during their 10 weeks in basic training, but there's always a pretty big adjustment on the home front. After 18 years of being an integral part of your children's lives, of having daily contact and a very regular communication with them, This journey begins with a pretty abrupt letting go. Time-limited phone calls, old-fashioned letter writing, Xing off the days on the calendar. In some ways, all of us, children and parents, do a bit more growing up. I think as parents, you'll find yourself being tugged between longing for the days gone by and the anticipation of a promising future for your sons and daughters. What I discovered during my basic Army mom training was, through worries and hopes, waiting and wondering, I found myself resting on strong expectations. I realized that not only was it okay to expect great things, but those greater expectations found their way into my letters and brief conversations with my son in the very necessary form of encouragement and a bit of cheerleading. You can be sure that those first 10 weeks in the military will test your children physically, intellectually, mentally, and emotionally. And maybe us too. As parents, we can be that one constant, that trusted foundation, which will allow our sons and daughters to stand strong as they endeavor to, and this just came to my head and I thought, wow, this is that old slogan, but to be all they can be. For real. Now, to all of you soon-to-be high school graduates, the new recruits, pack it in and gear up. You're about to begin a new chapter in your life's journey in a big way. There are some that might label this as a lesser choice than immediately heading off to college, but those people, they're really clueless because this is anything but a less than proposition. You have decided to put yourself on the fast track to getting on with your own life, to look adulthood right in the face and say, bring it. I remember hearing from my son about highs and lows during his basic training. Some days you may wonder if you can make it. Other days, it'll run just like clockwork and you're at the top of your game. Whatever challenge each day of training may bring, do your best to muscle through it and keep your eye on the prize. By enlisting in the armed services, you have chosen to test your limits, to learn what you're made of, to discover your abilities and capabilities, and to serve your country. You have chosen a path that may guarantee a future you have yet to even imagine. I hope you will find, as with so many significant things in life, that the greater your efforts and output, the more you will personally and professionally gain. Parents, friends, family, your young adults are ready to hit the ground running. Now, let's cheer them on with a big round of applause. To wrap this up, I just wanted to share with you what has been one of the most moving experiences I've ever witnessed as a parent. Wherever your sons or daughters go for their basic training, if you can manage a way to be there for their BCT graduation, do it. Sitting in the viewing stands of the parade grounds and watching these soldiers enter the field in their units with such precision and physical discipline is incredible. This graduation ceremony that you will attend easily trumps all the others. High school and college graduations are certainly important, but nothing compares to the ceremony, the pride, the patriotism, the hard-earned celebratory atmosphere that comes together with an undeniable synergy at a basic training graduation. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll cheer. You will gain a newfound pride in your children and your country. I'm so pleased to see how quickly our community salute chapters are forming across the country. Choosing to enlist in military service following high school is a big decision. Choosing this path is something special that so deserves the recognition that the Our Community Salutes organization is providing. As a parent of a soldier, as a mom on Mother's Day, it's been a great pleasure to help recognize all of these incredible young people here today. So, congratulations in advance on receiving your high school diplomas and on choosing to serve your country in the armed forces. I hope you leave here knowing you have made a grand choice for your future and that your family and your community stands behind you with much support and pride. Thank you.